Kieran Doherty's body was found naked and bound on the Braehead Road on the outskirts of Derry in February 3 years ago. The father of a 2-year-old girl had been kidnapped, beaten and shot dead by the Real IRA, the paramilitary group to which he once belonged. The 31-year-old had served a jail sentence in the south for robbery while a member of the Real IRA, but his family say he had moved on with his life since his release, but he'd been harassed by MI5 before he was murdered. It's now emerged his mother and grandmother have been awarded a substantial sum of money by the Criminal Injuries Compensations Appeals Panel, which has angered unionists. Speaking on behalf of his family, Kieran's uncle has defended the payment.
You know, who Kieran may have been or may not have been, he was still their son. He was still their grandson. He was still a human being. He lived and he breathed. And now his life has been viciously taken from him. And this is where the hierarchy of victimhood comes in. Anyone that is brutally murdered is a victim, no matter from what part of this society or what they believe they represent. It should not happen.
An Ulster Unionist MLA, who's a member of the Justice Committee, believes the payment is unfair.
Well, I think it's the inequality of the payment, and when you see and hear the pittance that some families and loved ones of people who have been murdered in the past, those people who didn't have any connection with terrorist organisations or indeed criminal activity, and those families actually got pittance for their loved one, whereas here we have someone who was a member of a terrorist organisation, and a ruthless terrorist organisation at that, is actually being given what's termed substantial compensation.
Tom Elliott says he will ask the Justice Committee to examine the law regarding compensation payments when the Assembly returns next month. Jane Lockery, UTV Live, Belfast.